I did it. It was people I hung with, smoked with, been in the studio with. It's like in this rap, be hating. Don't trust nobody in this rap.
Yo, I want to speak on this situation right here. First, I want to show you Truth Teller's input on it, just so that you can get the general layout of what the story is. Oblock is a legendary project made famous by rappers. Durkey is a member of Oblock. Recently, he's been doing interviews. Recently, he's been signed to a record label, and one of his own, in his own hood, took his chain.
What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter, and Durkey from Oblock. You know, he got his chain taken from him. A lot of people say somebody came up on him, robbed him, beat him, put him on the ground. I'm not sure. But I was told his chain was taken. He said he was snaked.
Alright, now this is the general conversation that's going on surrounding this topic. Oblock was made famous because you have these big rappers, millionaire rappers who represent that project. So people are, and you know, there was a legendary moment for Oblock when King Von, a rapper who came from Oblock, who became a millionaire, came and gave all of the guys in Oblock their own Oblock chain. Now, Durkey, he didn't have an Oblock chain. He had his own chain with a different design, and he recently got signed to a record label. He's been doing interviews, and his career has been going up, and it seemed like he was going to be another member from Oblock rapping, you know, because Oblock is a landmark for Chicago rappers. It's a very famous hood, made famous 10 years ago by Chief Keef and others. Until this day, Oblock is synonymous with Chicago rappers, famous rappers, you know. But Oblock is a housing project. And Oblock is a housing project, and at the end of the day, it's really hard for us to speak on this situation without having much input. But basically, what I want to say is, Durkey himself said that he was snaked by people he smoked with, people that he goes to the studio with, his friends, and that's common in the hood. That's not really something that's unusual. You got to understand. Usually, you're gonna get, you know, people when you get killed. Usually, it's by somebody you know. When you get robbed, it's usually by somebody you know. Because who else knows you well enough to know what you have, you know? And usually when things like this happens, it doesn't happen by strangers. It happens by people that you know. Now, people have this misconception that just because you're from the same hood means you're in the same movement, that you all have the same goals. That's not true. Usually what happens is gang wars start because a hood has split in two and started beefing with each other. So a lot of the wars going on in Chicago are between former hoods that have split apart. So yeah, man, just because you're in the same gang and just because you live in the same projects doesn't mean that you're a part of the same movement and you have the same goals. There's a crab in a bucket mentality. I think everybody else has pretty much said that, so I'm not saying anything new. All I'm saying is it's just not a good idea to walk around the projects with a $20,000 chain on, and I think that this is going to continue to happen. P&B Rock was killed for his chain. Now Oblock Durkey has been robbed for his chain by his own homeboys. So it goes to show you that the temptation of materialism outweighs loyalty to the hood. So yeah, Durkey, I hope you learn your lesson, and I hope you live your life as a normal civilian, because you took risks for these guys. You put your life on the line for this gang. So for them to rob you and for everybody to come on the internet and make fun of you, I think they're hating on you. You signed a deal. You're making your own money. You're doing your thing independent of Oblock, and I think they're hating on you because you don't need them to be successful. You know, and you got Oblock in your name. Your name is Oblock Durkey. So maybe these guys feel like, hey, take the Oblock out of your name. If you're not going to be sharing, you know, your success with us, you can't use the Oblock name. And that's how petty it is. Sometimes people really are just that petty and that jealous that they're mad because you got, your name is Oblock, but you're not giving them your money, so they feel like you're not a part of the team. So yeah, man, don't let these guys manipulate you. Don't let these guys pretend that they love you. Don't die for these guys. Live your life, live for your family, continue to reach your goals, and just and look at this as a learning lesson. You didn't die. A chain is something that you can you can get that back. You can't get your life back. So yeah, man, I think this is typical. I think it's a normal thing for people in the hood to snake their own. Nothing unusual about that. Peace.